And welcome back as we continue on with our Germany playthrough. There's a few things we need to get started with in today's episode. We have a few unassigned divisions here that we need to go ahead and put into... We'll go ahead and put them into Manstein's army. We have a facility with an unassigned scientist. We only have one option here. This is the Ile-de-France land warfare facility that we claimed from the French. We can select some doctrines. We're not going to worry about that just yet. Got some traits to assign. We're going to get the special one here on the right side of the branch. Got one for Opel. Let's get this one up here to lower the production costs so we can get more trucks into the field. Got some other ones. Let's get the production resource need reduced as well for that. Need to swap a few production around, make sure that we have everything updated. There's a few changes I'm going to be making to our production line setup, but we're going to come back to that. I want to ground all of the Air Force, bring it back to Berlin. We want to begin sort of a build up now that we're at this interim period. Let's see. So how are we doing on our support for our party? It's okay, but we do need to keep reducing that democratic support. We can actually go ahead and ban democratic parties, so we're going to do that. And that's going to redistribute some of that support into both of these parties, and we can start to look towards reducing this overall support there. I want to see if we can deploy any planes actually, but first we're going to bring those back. We're not going to worry about that just yet. I'm going to see if we can't hold these fleets for now. I want to begin the process of conserving a little bit of our oil. We're going to be looking towards annexing the Nordic countries, but before we do that, we also need to check our operatives. So all of our operatives are back home. We're going to station several of these in the UK, and the other two we're going to put into the Soviet Union. We're going to increase our passive defense, and we're going to queue up a few extra refineries as well, because oil is going to be a continual problem for us. We want to make sure that we're maxing out our benefit there as much as possible. As for the rest of this, we'll go and get the industrial liaisons, and we're going to get decentralized control. We're going to train up a few more infantry divisions. Actually, quite a few more. We're going to get a new full army there. We're going to make a new infantry division. We actually need to update this infantry division. You know, actually, this is fine for now. Though we do need to make a few changes. We need to get some anti-air on there. We need to get the signal companies and the logistic companies, as well as artillery, and that'll be a 21 width. Let's duplicate this infantry unit, and we're just going to call it a garrison division. And we're going to give them the, let's see, where's that icon I like to use? It's around here somewhere, I just don't see it. There it is. We'll make these guys just very basic units. We'll have to spend some XP to remove some of this stuff, but that's fine. And these guys will be our garrison units. We're going to train up another 40 divisions of these guys. And these guys will be our coast guard, our Atlantic wall, so to speak. And we're going to get the instilled aggression for that trade. We still don't have a chief of the navy, but that's fine. I have a few traits to assign. So for Johans, here we can get the infantry expert ambusher. I think we'll probably get the ambusher, since our infantry is more going to be for the defense. Manstein, he still doesn't have his panzer expert skill, and then we could get the guerrilla fighter for Guderian, but we're probably not going to do that. We do need to go ahead and station some troops on the border with Denmark. I'm actually thinking of suspending my tank divisions temporarily. I'd like to conserve as much oil as we can. And for the conquest of the Nordic countries, I'd actually like to focus on using infantry. I really just don't think it's going to be necessary to use armor. And besides, it's not really going to be effective for the naval invasions or for crossing the straits here in Denmark. So we're just going to focus that army there. And then we're going to have some naval invasions ready to go into Oslo. We're going to do one into Kristiansand. We're going to do another one into Stavanger. And let's see, let's just get a few more. Like here. We'll have 6 total. So that's 4. Let's get another one there. And one more over here. And we'll do 2 in each of these. Let's set a fallback line here for these units. And we'll just begin assigning these.
Achtung! Ihre Befehle.
Okay.
Ihre Befehle.
That's actually the max that we can do. Let's unassign them from there and have those 2 units go to Oslo instead. That's fine. Okay, so that'll work fine for our naval invasion orders. These units can go into a separate army. Call it the 5 army. We'll put this guy in charge. And yeah, that could just stay as it is. The rest of these guys can go to the border with the Soviet Union for the time being. And yeah, these guys can just wait here if we need them. Okay, let's go and unpause. We do need to make a few changes to our production. Question of Yugoslavia. Our patience with them is running thin. And we do need to change a few things with this. We're going to actually pull back a little bit on our panzer, our medium panzers, and we're going to put more into our fighters. We're going to put 2 full lines on the fighters. Have enough on the trucks. Yeah, that's fine for now. We're just going to need a lot more production overall, is what I'm realizing. Okay, so we got another trait for our submarines. Let's go and upgrade those. We're going to have to come back and look at this production later on. I can pull back on the convoys a little bit. This is a little bit of a mess. We don't have the manpower right now is actually part of the problem. So we actually need to... let's see. Let's pull back on some of this. Well, no, I mean, this is enough for what we need. We'll mobilize some more manpower. I mean, we really need to upgrade to extensive conscription, but that would increase the training time, so we'll just hold off on that for the time being. Okay, so we're finishing up treaty with the USSR. That's going to give us some new tech. Then we're going to work on Operation Götterdämmerung, and that's going to be our main goal there. After that, we'll probably go and pick up a strong successor. So we got a new trait here. It's rapid fire. We can't actually upgrade it. We don't have the Army XP just yet. Let's go ahead and speed it up to speed 5. Right, we had it on speed 3 there for the war period. So we got treaty with the USSR. Let's go ahead and work on Operation Götterdämmerung. And we do have a land warfare point. We're going to hold off on this because I want to get these self-propelled super heavy artillery. So we're going to get rid of that notification there. We do need to adjust some things with our trade. We can trade a little bit more with Sweden for the tungsten, and for the rubber we can trade with Siam, and that'll work for now. So the Battle of Britain. Hermann Göring is eager to showcase the superiority of the Luftwaffe and to break the spirit of the British people. He wants to bomb London's iconic Big Ben. So this will give us an air raid on Big Ben, which we can try that. And the Soviets accept the treaty. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to leave the fleet docked for the time being. And I'm also going to keep our planes docked. So what we're going to do is we're going to split the air wings. This is going to split the individual planes and help them fill out with any extra planes we have. So I did want to check. So A against C has a dangerous naval evasion. Okay, well I don't really care about that. That's something for Italy to deal with. We could get the ranged improvements, the rubber processing, fuel refining. Could also start working on some more of our tech down there in the artillery branch. Logistic companies, maintenance 2 is really good for the tanks. In fact, I think that's what we're going to go ahead and get. So we can get the easy maintenance. Let's get the maintenance first design for the plane tech there. And we do actually have the improved small airframes, which I forgot about that. We got that. So let's go ahead and upgrade these. Let's put 2 light machine guns on here. Actually, we have cannons. I think the simple machine guns are still better. These are okay for heavy fighters or something like that. If we had the range improvements, I might put them on there, but for now this is perfectly good. So let's go ahead and replace that. Let's do the same for the close air support. We'll do the small bomb bays, and we'll swap this out with the cast designer. And so what does the recon equipment give us? It's air recon mission. We're not going to be making use of that. Get out on bomb locks or more of a small bomb bay. We can upgrade the engine. The weight would exceed thrust for that. Okay, I guess we don't really need that. Let's just get that. It's the improved airframe that really does most of the work. That's a medium airframe. We need to get a better naval bomber. Let's go and put the naval bomber on there. Auto design it. Naval aircraft. So this would be a good one on naval strike. I'm just seeing if there's a design I like a little bit more. I think that's more accurate. Let's go ahead and do that one. Swap that one over. We got the transport planes. We don't have any better transport planes just yet. We also don't really need it at the moment. Got another tech here. We actually have the XP for it. So let's go ahead and swap that out on the artillery, the anti-air, and the anti-tank. All right, so a lot of updates we need to make to our production and stuff like that, but it's important that we do that and we take the time to do that so we don't fall behind. Let's continue to improve our passive defense. And let's see, has this begun to fill out with more planes? Yeah, there's been some of that going on here. So could get the improved medium airframes, ranged improvements. We're getting the improved submarines. Could get the anti-air 2. The improved armor production. I think it makes sense to maybe get the 1940 heavies so that we can get to the super heavy tech, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, we definitely want to improve our manpower situation as soon as possible. So we've been embargoed by Mexico, which isn't really going to have any effect on us. And let's just continue to put more of these planes, more of these production on planes, so we have a nice, healthy stockpile when the war breaks out. Do we need improved torpedoes? We do. Let's go and get that and do... We're not going to use an MIO for this because we don't actually want to upgrade any of those. Yeah, that is perfectly fine. Alright, so we'll be unlocking this war goal here pretty soon. Now that we got that, this will be an alliance with Finland. This would have them directly join the Axis. That's actually quite interesting. However, they haven't done the Winter War yet. Well, actually, I say that. They have. They're in it right now. We don't really want them directly in the conflict. We could do Swiss gold, reintegrate Alsace-Lorraine. That would give us a nice core, which actually might help us with our manpower. But I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get a strong successor. We're actually going to swap out Adolf Hitler here. We're going to get a new one, a new person in charge of the country. Now that we've finished some of our early wars, I think that it is a good time to go ahead and make that swap. I'm thinking we might want to get a few divisions on the border with Yugoslavia pretty soon. In fact, we're actually going to send these units down here. No, I'm going to send a few units onto the border here with Yugoslavia, since we'll probably be attacking them next after we deal with the Nordic countries. But we do have this war goal complete, so we're going to go ahead and declare war on Denmark. We're going to activate our fleets in the region here. And we're going to click activate on these naval invasion orders. We're going to push into Denmark. So we're going to focus on this tile. Some going there. And they would surrender, but we're going to say it's barely more than a speed bump. We're just going to continue to push. So Iceland declares neutrality. Let's go and slow it down just a little bit. Yeah, I mean, they're going to continue pushing. We almost don't even need to do anything, frankly. Did they join the Allies? They did not. That's right, they don't usually do that. We could just keep pushing. Once we get Copenhagen, it's not going to matter. So we'll just walk around here. Walk Nalborg. So, that's right, we actually need to declare war on Norway. So we can actually make these landings. We may send some armor over if we think we need it. But I'm not entirely sure yet. Let's send these guys over here so that we can help take Copenhagen. Eliminate these guys real quick. Let's send one unit over to take that. Let's push them out of there. Looks like we're landing. Let's do a force attack just to make sure that we can break them up there. So pause the game. And we should be able to capitulate them real quick. And any minute there, they surrender. Okay, so let's take all of their stuff and annex them. And we can go ahead and confirm an exit. Okay, so we do have Greenland and the Faroe Islands from that, as well as... no, that's part of Norway. Okay, so how far along are we on training this? Let's go ahead and deploy these units for our garrison. Let's set up a defense order. Who's got a good defense? We can use this guy. Yeah, he's got a good defense, and he's an infantry officer. So we're going to defend ports. We're just going to come along here. We're just going to click the coastline all the way around here, in through Belgium. And we're going to come up here and we're going to defend Denmark like this. And that's what we're going to focus on for now until we can get into Norway. We're also going to set them to train. And it's going to be something like that. I'll find a name for them later on. Let's help with this attack. Let's come around here. Now that we've landed in Norway. And what do I need to swap out on our production? Oh, that's just our submarines. Let's assist in this attack. And that's right, we have a force attack, so we can't change the direction of that attack. That's quite all right. And yes, we do need to swap up some of our trade. Let's trade for the tungsten with them, chromium with them, and then we're not getting any rubber from anywhere. Get some from Liberia. I think we might just have to accept we're not going to be getting any rubber until we build some of these refineries, which is fine. So let's continue to help attack there. And we're just about to break them. We did land in Oslo, which is perfect. We can maybe send over the army here into Oslo and make a nice attack order like that, which should help. So we took Stavanger. We can make an attack order like that.
Ihre Befehle.
This.
Ziel
And I think we
anvisiert.
actually got the naval liaison perk here, so we can do that. This guy can be our future naval invasion expert. Okay, so we got the event here for our new Fuhrer sends. The Reichsleaders closest to Adolf Hitler have come to question his leadership and the vision he holds for the future of the German Reich. They now plot to oust Adolf Hitler from power and seize the title of Führer for themselves. The question is, who will rise above the others and lead the way to the glorious future? So I looked at all these options. Some of these are really good. Actually, Rudolf Hess is pretty good. But in terms of production, overall, Albert Speer is actually really good. You get increased construction speed, factory output, dockyard output, and it increases your fascism support, so you will slowly, albeit slowly, you'll increase your fascist support and be able to get eventually to 100% without having to spend too much political power, which is going to increase your stability and your political power gain and all kinds of things as well. So I actually think Albert Speer is the best option here, and if you've noticed the thumbnails, you can see I was foreshadowing this a little bit. So we're going to go and click Albert Speer, and he is now our new political leader. But that's not all I'll see, because now I believe we can upgrade him. So we can give him loyalty of the Wehrmacht through the demonstration of military achievements. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to upgrade our leader now by getting, I think we can get down to here at least, and give him some upgrades for our units. And so that's what we're going to do as we push through here. And I don't think...
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
I could have swore I gave them this order, but I guess because the supply is so low, we're going to have to manually move these units
Ausrücken.
just throughout here
Bereit zum
because they
Ausrücken.
think they can't win,
Zeigt es ihnen.
which of course they can. These
Zeigt es ihnen.
Norwegian units are not very strong at all, so just need to push out.
Befehle.
We can motorize these units. So transit rights in Sweden. We're going to approach Sweden for humanitarian transit via their rail network. This is going to begin the process of pressuring Sweden. We're going to upgrade our conscription to extensive conscription. It's going to help us with our manpower issues, which we could always get rid of some units or change some things around if we wanted to. But we're going to need a sizable army in order to contest with the Soviets.
Bereit.
Let's go and adjust this front line. It's not really going to matter. We're going to change that later. It was just bothering me a little bit. So let's get the improved armor tech. We did finish the improved, and there's a little bit of a bug here. We did finish the improved medium tank chassis, which we will, once we have enough XP, we'll invest in making those designs, but it's not necessary at the moment.
Greift weiter an.
But we will be doing that eventually here. Sweden permits transit of the wounded. Let's see. Let's avoid frustrating them further for the time being, actually, because I'll be making my demands to Sweden through the focus tree pretty soon. Let's go and take these units over here out.
Vorrücken.
And yeah, we should just be able to roll right over
Befehle.
Sweden, frankly. I mean Norway.
Befehle.
Just gonna let us walk in here. Let's take Bergen. Going to be sure. Okay, so Hungary gave us some stuff. Let's put some more of these factories into support equipment. We're really low on it, actually. Let's try and get 20 on there as we continue to build up our stockpiles. We're going to need a lot more factories to be constructed over time here. And we are building up our fuel, this is the reason why I had our tanks and stuff stay behind. Not only are they not very good in this terrain, but I really wanted to build our stockpile of fuel. It is only 1940, but if we plan to go against the Soviet Union, it's really important that we hold on to as much fuel as we want. We build up our stockpile of planes, or we're going to have a really bad time when trying to deal with the Allied Air Force.
Ihre Befehle.
as well as the Soviet tanks. We're not going to have enough juice to actually make those pushes happen, especially early on in the war. So we can actually go and speed it up just a little bit. I want to make sure we pin these divisions down.
Zuhören.
They are trying to leave here.
Ausrücken.
That's what I get for speeding the game up a little bit, but we should be able to capitulate them pretty early. Let's try and get around these troops, cut them off. Should be pretty straightforward. And it looks like our garrison divisions are in position, which is good. We can actually go and expand that garrison order just to southern Norway here. We did get the heavy tank tech completed. Let's get the German Army Invincible Focus. Secretaries General, so this is for Belgian civil servants who have approached us with an offer, allow them to continue their work in the civic office. So this is an occupation law. So we can go ahead and do that. And I believe, let's see. Let's check that. So Secretaries General, this reduced their overall resistance and everything. So it is a good one. It's a good choice. So we got the improved heavy tanks, the Panzerjägers, and the Lows. These are good. Very good, actually. We do not have the production to spare to build heavy tanks right now. We'll come back to those later on. We could start researching the super heavy tank chassis. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to get the improved rubber for now. I want to get the land cruisers, but we just simply don't have the production or tech to kind of spare for that right now. We will come back to that pretty soon. Just not quite there yet. We're going to train up this army, and then we'll allocate where we want to put that army later on. So Norway has capitulated. Let's make sure we get rid of this last little pocket here. Let's assign our garrisons up through here, and we would still have to take Jan Mayen, but we're not going to do that. I think it makes sense to go ahead and garrison both Greenland and the Faroe Islands if we can. It's very possible that the UK will still manage to take it, however. Let's go and just upgrade into the multi-role tanks for the heavy tank designer there, since we did get the trait for it. And now that all our units are deployed, yeah, see, they're immediately naval invading Greenland, in fact. If they go along with that, I don't know if it's actually worth sending the troop over there. We'll still try. We'll still try. We're going to accept the tripartite pact that Japan proposes. And Italy signs it as well, which is perfect. Let's get rid of some of these spare orders. Let's bring our units back over to Berlin so that we can take stock of what we got and recover our divisions, get them out of the freezing cold of Norway. And let's see, we got another trait here for Henschel. Let's grab this. Actually, I didn't need to take these units off the border with Yugoslavia. I just realized that. Okay, so we can continue working on this. I think it makes sense to get the engineer companies, and we can go and get the war bonds. We can also develop the iron mines. I figure why not do that. Okay, so Yugoslavia. Yeah, so Yugoslavia is probably a good next goal for us. We could get the demands of Sweden, get some of their resources. That might make sense. That might make sense to do next. Swiss gold. And then work on down to demanding Slovenia as well. These are all good options for us while we await some invasions down there in Africa. We could invest in Africa. I don't think I'm going to be helping Italy in Africa. I will probably send some units. And we got our submarine tech there. We don't have any naval XP, however. We could send some units to help defend Italy. I mean, this is just a complete mess down here. We could assist them. The supply is awful. I'd have to dedicate industrial resources to actually defending this, building ports, getting supply. I think it makes more sense to just defend mainland Italy once it becomes an issue. When and if they do get naval invaded, I can dedicate an army to defending that. Otherwise, I would say Italy's on its own. I just think it's such a drain of resources. Italy is, especially when there's not much in Africa for us to worry about, Italy's simply just a distraction. Okay, so we got that focus, so now Albert Speer has a few more upgrades as Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. We could demand Slovenia, give us an annex war goal on that territory. Of course, the British would flood troops down there. I think it makes sense to make demands to Sweden. We could improve our relationships with them. I don't think that makes sense. I don't know if we need troops on the border. If we do get a conquer war goal on Sweden, they'll be really easy to annex. So I'm okay just rolling the dice on that. If we do end up having to annex Sweden, so be it. That'll probably be ending up to our benefit in the long run. After this, we can either get the Swiss gold or we can work on demands to Slovenia. Let's go and put it up to speed 5 here. So the Tsardom of Bulgaria wants to join the Axis. Of course, we will let them in. Operation Bolivar is disrupted in Brazil. Not too concerned on that. And the Soviet-German trade agreement. So let's see, this would grant us oil, rubber, tungsten, and steel for 800 days. This would give them access to basic cruiser armor scheme. A few other things. So, I mean, we could do this. This would help us build up our stockpile and increase our production. All this does is give them ship tech, which is absolutely useless to them. I'm not concerned about the Soviet fleet in the slightest, really. So let's go and get the anti-air tech there and improve our medium tank armor. So let's see, we've got to go and replace all of these. So let's do that one by one here. So we got the medium tank chassis, we got the SP artillery, SP anti-air, and the armored support vehicles. Okay, perfect. So I think, yes, so we got the improved computing machine. Could get some of this other tech here. Fuel refining. I think it makes sense to get that next. Yes. Okay. Alright, so I think we're going to end off the episode here today. We went ahead and we annexed the 2 Nordic countries. We got Denmark and Norway, annexed it directly. We've made some adjustments to our production and everything like that. And actually, you know what? We'll go and see if we get this we get these demands to Sweden done successfully. That way we can see if we're going to be invading them soon here. Let's get the logistic company attack. Alright, so let's see if this goes through, if it is successful. Okay, and they accept the deal. Perfect, so we will not be invading Sweden. We'll go ahead and decide on the next focus next time. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you're enjoying the series. And I'll see you in the next one.